Hello everybody, welcome to a new web series on this channel which I'm currently calling Unexplained Mysteries. On this web series we will talk about conspiracy theories and all that sort of stuff. Now, do I believe in any conspiracy theories? No, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't believe in any of these conspiracy theories. But I do find them interesting stories, and I like to tell stories. And I want to share these interesting stories to you, because I really think they're fascinating. Because I always found the otherworldly, the unexplained, and of course, the idea of us being able to do of things being of not of this world, and or secret organizations and cover-ups, and science fiction being science fact, or at least the idea of it being pretty cool. And I want to share that with you. So today we're going to talk about the Philadelphia experiment. It's been a long-standing conspiracy theory going back all the way to the early 1950s, and still stands to this day. It's so well known that it was actually turned into a movie in 1984, simply called The Philadelphia Experiment, and it involves time travel, U.S. Navy boats, a book, UFOs, a book, more like actually a book about UFOs, and the U.S. government. It also involves New York. So yeah, let's get on to it. I'll tell you all about it. So let's start. It all begins back in 1955 when a man named Morris K. Jessup released a novel known as The Case for the UFO. Now, the novel talked about UFOs or UFO sightings and how exactly UFOs could theoretically work and operate. Now, the book became very popular and Morris began receiving fan mail. Now, one of these fan letters was from a man supposedly known as Carlos Allende, though this was just a pseudonym. Now, why he was using a pseudonym was unknown, as his real name was Carl Allen, and in this letter, he would describe what would be the story of the Philadelphia experiment. Now, in this letter he sent to Morse, so Allen claimed that he was stationed at a naval shipyard, on October 28th, 1943, and at that naval shipyard, he witnessed the USS Eldridge disappear into a green fog, and that as it turned out, the USS Eldridge had appeared 10 minutes earlier in a shipping yard in Virginia, 10 minutes before it had disappeared in that green fog that Allen had seen. And when the ship reappeared in the shipping yard where Allen was, the men on the boat had either been fused at the walls or had gotten insane, and how majority of the men were gone or were in horrific and terrible states and conditions, as, like I said, they had been fused with the walls, and one guy just burst into flames and burned for 18 days, and the rest had gotten insane, and as he said, they were, unquote, mad as hatters. Now, Morris, like any rational person, dismissed this letter as the ramblings of a madman, but the next year, in 1956, Allen would send a copy of Case for the UFO to the U.S. Office of Naval Research. Now, this copy contained notes in the margins which seemed to be a conversation between three people who referred to themselves as the Gypsies, and these people made numerous comments about the Philadelphia experiment while also commenting about Morris's ideas and theories on UFOs. Now, the next year, 1957, Morris was contacted by the U.S. Office of Naval Research and asked to come down to the office. And they questioned him about the book. Now, when they showed him it, he quickly realized that these notes were all done by Allen, as he had attempted to write in a different handwriting style than he normally wrote in, and with each person in this fake conversation being in a different shade of blue pen. So this was not a conversation between three people who had knowledge of the Philadelphia experiment, but rather all notes and comments made by Carl Allen himself, and he had gone so far as to try and write a different hand style, and for each person he used a different shade of blue ink pen. And now, after all this happened, Morris would go on to publish 2 more books. None of these were successful at all. Now, he would end up committing suicide in 1959. Some people believe that he was killed by the government because he knew too much, but there isn't really evidence for this at all, as by this point he had even been dropped by his publisher, and he was also dealing with chronic pain problems after getting into a car accident if he was part of it. Now, is the Philadelphia experiment real? No. Ship logs from the USS Eldridge showed that it was not docked in Philadelphia on October 28, 1943. It was nowhere near Philadelphia, and it wasn't even docked in Philadelphia within the month of October or in the following months after the supposed incident. It was still nowhere near that in those following months. along with that, Carl Allen would say that later on, about in the 60s, that he had made a story up. He admitted it later on that he made the whole story up. Along with that, there's just no evidence at all that the U.S. government or the U.S. Navy did any sort of experiments like this. And like I've said, Carl Allen, the guy who started all this, said he made it up. So, no, the Philadelphia experiment is not real in any sort of way. But hey, at least we got a pretty cool story out of it all, because it is, you gotta admit, a pretty cool story. So, folks, that was the Philadelphia experiment. I told you all about it. Now, I just want to say I don't believe in any of this stuff. I just like telling people about it. If you want to believe it, go ahead. I mean, I told you it's literally not true, but hey, some people lie. Some people. Anyways, folks, I hope you had a good time. I'll be uploading another video tomorrow. I hope you watched that video. I'll be making more content in the future. I reckon I'll probably be making content the rest of this Thanksgiving week, and after I make content for this entirety of this Thanksgiving week, Monday to Sunday, then I'll take a little break, but I'll come back for Christmas break, because that's why I got time off at school. Yeah, I know my upload schedule's been a little sparse ever since summer break, but in this how it is, school's a lot. It's a lot. And yeah, I kind of run it. And it's very tiring and taxing, kind of. But anyways, so yeah, once this week's up, because you all gotta wait till Christmas vacation comes out. Then there'll be more videos, way more videos. I got 2 whole weeks of making this stuff, Next video is gonna be about the Modoc Project, and yeah. So see y'all. Bye. Have a nice time.